welcome to Kenyaddacreates. I'm Kenyatta. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a July wrap up of all the books I read, and I'm representing my. It's Harry Potter's birthday today, so that's why I got my sorting hat on to represent Harry Potter. My best friend got this for my birthday a couple years ago. I love it. I'll show you what it does.
There's nothing hidden in your head the sorting hat can't see. So try me on. I will tell you where you ought to be. Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff.
Okay, the first book I read was City of Broken Magic by Mira Bolander. This book was not for me. It was about infestations in the city, and people known as sweepers have to get rid of the infestations, and they're like gooey monsters and they kill. And so the city is feeling like they don't need the sweepers as much as they really do. So they're trying to get rid of the sweepers, but at the same time, every time an infestation comes up, the sweepers are needed. And there's somebody out to get the sweepers, trying to get revenge because of something that took place. And so the sweepers are needed more than ever because they have to vacate the city because the entire city is about to be infested. But it wasn't for me. It was really boring, so I didn't like it. The next book I read was Legends of the Fall by Jim Harrison. This book was... What's wrong? Why does my camera keep pausing? This book was advertised to be the Legends of the Fall, but it's actually 3 short stories in here. The first one was... Let's see. Revenge. And that was pretty good. This guy had an affair with this other guy's wife, and they were supposed to be friends. And the guy found out, and he took out revenge on them. And so this other guy who was in the wrong to begin with decides he's going to set out revenge and get the woman back. And it's just a whole bunch of foolishness. And then the next story was The Man Who Gave Up His Name. That was just a man who he was a very successful man and just gave up all his money because he felt like he just wanted a whole new life, basically. And then it was The Legends of the Fall. If you ever seen the movie is much better. It was an okay book, but the movie is much better. It's about these brothers who went to war. One of the brothers ended up dying, and they came back. And one brother married the woman who was supposed to be the brother's wife, that one who passed away. And he ended up leaving her for years, come back, and she's married to the other brother. And it's just a bunch of foolishness. But the movie is so much better. Then I read 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. Y'all, this book got me all in the feels. I mean, I was crying my eyes out. It's about these two friends who met each other when they were like 5 or 6-ish. And they grew up and started being in a relationship, and it was just all about Poppy and Rune. It was, if you see Poppy, you see Rune. You see Rune, you see Poppy. And then one day, Rune has to go back to where he's from, and he has to leave for a couple years. But Poppy cuts him off without not saying anything, not saying why. And when he comes back, he's so angry. He don't understand. He's a totally different person. And it all comes to a head, and it's just a beautiful story. I highly suggest it. If you want something that gets you in your feels, a tearjerker, grab your tissue, because it's gonna get you. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It's a favorite book I've read on my Kindle so far. And then I read The Second Life of Ava Rivers by Faith Gardner. This was about these twins who, when they were younger, their mom told their brother to take them trick-or-treating because they were having a party or something. The brother was like maybe 12, I believe. And instead of watching them, he goes to a party and just kind of tells them, go off on your own. Oh, there's a piece of hair in my eye. Go off on your own. And they end up playing. They end up going trick-or-treating, but then one's ready to go home. The other one still wants to hang out and play. And so she says, let's play hide and seek. And so she's never seen again. And years later, I forget how many years, they're told that she's found. And it's about where she's been. Her story don't add up. It's just, trying to figure out what's really going on. So it was a good story. I liked it. So this was The Second Life of Ava Rivers. It wasn't the best, but I liked it. It wasn't the best, but I liked it. Then I read Youre Invited by Amanda Jayatissa. This was just okay. It was about basically two old friends or ex-friends. She gets the invitation to her ex-friend's wedding, who happens to be marrying her ex-boyfriend. And the wife, fiance, comes up missing, and the ex-best friend is the suspect. So it's about what happened, who really done it, did she really do something to it, was it out of jealousy? But it has I thought it was going to be really good. It sounded like it was going to be really good. It kept me interested to find out what happens, but it just didn't get me. I just wasn't that into it. So, yeah, there's that. Not something I will read again. Then I read The Hacienda by Isabel Canas. This was another book that wasn't for me. It was very slow paced. I didn't get into it until the ending, and it's about a haunted house, a woman who lost her father at a young, not a young age, but at a marriageable age, and to save herself, she decides to marry the first opportunity she got, and she ended up marrying into a man who has a haunted house, and the story goes from there. And I mean, a lot of people like this book. It just wasn't for me. It was just too slow paced, and like I said, it didn't get good until the ending. So there's that one. Then I read The House Across the Lake by Raleigh Sager. A lot of people don't like this book, but I loved it. I absolutely love this book. It's about an alcoholic woman who's at her family's lake house, and she starts spying on the neighbors that are across the lake, and she sees something suspect. And when the wife goes missing, she puts herself into the investigation to try to find out what happened to the wife. And I mean,